I've been saying for many, many years what a big problem our national debt is. Just the interest that we pay on it alone, and then just our deficit. And remember, a deficit is what we're short every year. Debt is what we owe long term. So for those of you watching, remember that the deficit is what you're asking your local, your congressmen and senators to give from the federal budget for new roads and bridges, which we have a terrible infrastructure problem in this country.
So the Congressional Budget Office, the CBO, that's the official department that handles the budget. They projected this year it's going to be about 1.9 trillion. It's high as ever. So it seems that we are continuing to top off. Each year we have a higher deficit. And it's really bad because we could enter into a debt spiral to get out of control. And then if there's any kind of a backward, or if we lose the strong demand for U.S. Treasuries, that's what you were alluding to, Ed. If we have any kind of a pullback in the demand for U.S. Treasuries, you're going to see the yield go up. And that's why we monitor the yield so much, because it is an indirect way of monitoring the demand for Treasuries.
I've often thought about a movie about if the head of China and the head of Japan got together and decided not to buy any U.S. debt, what would happen to the world? It would be an incredibly, terrible thing. And I feel like we're in the simmering point, just like when we had the mortgage crisis, there were some, kind of little like notes about, is there going to be a mortgage crisis? And then there was. I feel as though this is the beginning of a debt crisis. And I just think that we're going to look back at this podcast years from now and remember that when we were talking about this, how realistic it came to be, because I really do believe that we're in our beginning stages of a fiscal crisis.